Greetings, beautiful Earthlings. Greetings and welcome. I am Kimber here. Today is Tarot Tuesday. I was called to go this week from the Antique Anatomy Tarot rather strongly. I've actually been called rather strongly to this deck for a couple of weeks, but got a new deck last week or 2 weeks ago I got the new deck. So then the following week I was really called to go from my most familiar deck for whatever reason, and we got some kind of like warning type messages come through. So this is the week for the Antique Anatomy Tarot, and I can already hear my throat chakra preparing itself to bring something through for you guys. So let me show you what your totems are today to choose from. For card number 1, gold flakes. Gold has a very high vibration. A lot of people find that it's their most favorite metal to meditate on. Card number 2, rose quartz chips. If you feel called to that, if rose quartz is your thing. Card number 3, turquoise, a lot of people's favorite. Beautiful blue color. If you're called to that one, you're going to be card number 3. So we'll take one breath of transmutation just to make sure that we're all clear. And as you can see, we've got sage going below you. And then we're going to pull these top 3 cards for everybody. So wherever you are, seated or standing, feel a glittering white light beginning to pulse at your tailbone. When we breathe in, let that go up your spine to heal you and also blow out any blocks. Inhale through your nose. Feel that healing, glittering white light go up your spine. And as you exhale, let everything go. The shuffling has ceased. We have card number 1 for you. 5 of elixirs. The 5 of cups and a lot of other decks. We have the 1 of rods for card number 2. And then we have the page of blades for card number 3. So we have 3 different houses or suits represented today. So this should be really interesting. And I will be going from the book today for all of your messages. So for those of you who chose card number 1, whose totem was gold flakes, you chose the 5 of elixirs. So let's see what we have for you. 5 of elixirs. The 5 of elixirs is a card of unbelievable sadness and grief. You have experienced a loss in your life and it feels as though you will never be happy again, but you will. How you choose to deal with this pain determines how quickly you can move on. As soon as I read that sentence, I got an itch on my nose that was overwhelming. So I'm going to read that again. How you choose to deal with this pain determines how quickly you can move on. The 5 of elixirs can also mean that old wounds are bubbling to the surface and holding you back. This is really common. This almost feels like a collective message to me. And the sage is absolutely roaring too. So I'm feeling a lot of energetic intention around this message, a lot of intensity. Like as soon as I started reading this message, I just felt a lot of intensity. My nose started itching. The sage started getting intense. So the 5 of elixirs can also mean that old wounds are bubbling to the surface and holding you back, like I mentioned. You are so focused on what has happened in the past that you can't see all of the positives that are flourishing in your life. And the keywords are loss, despair, grief, negativity, a devastating blow, and old wounds. So For those of you who are called to the gold flakes, card number 1, the 5 of elixirs. 5 in pretty much any suit in any deck is almost always going to signify a loss or a perceived loss. And typically when we are talking about any kind of a loss, I'm really big on accountability. There's a reason why whatever this is has left your life, or if this is about a grief or a despair, I'm actually getting that this is about like an abuse. And it's like the loss that you're perceiving, for those of you who are resonating with this message from card number 1, is that the reality of it is whatever abuse was the cause of this perceived loss in your life is, it's almost as if like you can't unring the bell, which is like the perfect analogy, I guess. So you have choices going forward from here, but the choice to wallow in the victimhood vibration and energy pattern is not the choice that's serving you. So it's like I see a lot of like head in the sand type energy in card number 1, and it's like it is the case that you were wronged, like that's what I'm seeing. And it's really this is as far as like kind of like leveling up in energy. This is something that however you find that you're able to take accountability for this loss, and it can be really difficult. Like you might have to go back to like, past life, contracts, if this is something that you subscribe to, or you might have to really kind of like, what I'm getting is kind of like cut your losses with a family member type thing. And you might have to accept that you are your own source of strength and not necessarily this individual who sort of like seems like has caused a perceived loss. If this is resonating with you, great. If not, as far as card number 1, if this was your card and that's not resonating with you, it's about gratitude, and it's about remembering that you can't stay in the victimhood vibration. Even if somebody did wrong you, you have to figure out how is your best way to rise above that, whether it's just, managing your expectations with that individual in the future and focusing on the individuals who don't treat you that way, or just making a clean cut from this situation. So that's the message for you guys for card number 1. Now for those of you who chose card number 2, whose totem was rose quartz chips, this week you've drawn the 1 of rods. So this is a little bit different in this. This would be the ace in a lot of other decks. So this is going to be a lot of all-encompassing energy. So let's see what it actually reads as the ace from the book. So the Ace of Rods represents raw creative energy in the universe. You find inspiration everywhere you look, especially in terms of career and artistic pursuits. Just having an idea is not quite enough to get you where you need to go. So remember to nurture the things that you create as well. Trust your gut and don't be afraid to take risks. The fire of the rod suit wants to spread like wildfire. You have to move quickly or you may just lose that spark. So I'm seeing a spark plug with this. Raw creative energy, good vibes, passion, excitement, and spirituality. So for those of you who chose card number 2, the rose quartz chips, the ace of rods, I'm getting a spark plug energy. So right now you have kind of like there's a big creative energy going on, and you're actually seeing that a lot of people are interested in whatever it is that you're creating, or it's just getting the magnitude of attention and what's the word that keeps wanting to come up with this card? You're finally getting recognized. So you're getting the recognition for something that you've created. Like you're the spark plug for all of this. So what they're saying is that don't let that spark die. So it's kind of like, just think about like what a spark plug does. All of the rest, it's kind of like starts so many good messages coming through for you guys today that my entire throat chakra is opening up. So you're the spark plug, but you're also the entire engine in the car and the vehicle. Like, you're the one who's doing this. So own that. And also, if you feel like you need to outsource to it's kind of like, yes, this is your project, but don't have so much sort of like ownership over it that you don't allow it to grow by allowing other people to help you with this. And this is whether it's like a child that you are, dealing with, or if this is like your home business or something like that. So remembering that you're the spark plug, but it's almost kind of like, this is your vehicle, but it takes a village. So, number one, for those of you who chose card number 2, congratulations, because it's looking like your efforts are being rewarded. People are starting to recognize what you've done, and now it's time to sort of like be ready for the help that it looks like is going to be available to you. So, good job. You've been recognized. Excuse me, you guys. I'm going to have a nice rooted and flowing throat chakra thanks to you all on Tarot Tuesday this morning. So, for those of you who are called to the turquoise chips, card number 3, you've chosen the Page of Blades. Traditionally, the Page of Blades or the Page of Swords can represent immaturity sometimes, not always. I want to see what comes through as we're reading what's going on with the page here. So, the Page of Blades represents someone with a quick mind and an insatiable curiosity for learning and problem solving. She asks a lot of questions about the world around her, but can also lack tact. This card's appearance encourages you to put emotion aside and approach a problem with a logical disposition. Ask as many questions as possible before coming to a conclusion. This card can also represent the spread of gossip. This is rooted in misinformation, and if you don't know the whole story, it's best to remain quiet. The keywords are curiosity, problem solving, gossip, quick mind, energetic, and messages. So always a little bit of kind of like I had mentioned, gossipy energy that goes on with the Page of Blades, or immaturity. So just being mindful if this is you, like if you already know that you're somebody who is just like naturally drawn to drama, or you kind of can't resist spilling the tea about people sometimes, try to become aware of this, because this can be really powerful. This will keep you in a low vibration because what you focus on grows. So if you're constantly being like petty and taking the low road and like talking shit about people, that's going to come back to you. And the people who are of a higher vibration are going to be like, she's going to turn on and be talking about shit about me, right now she's talking about this individual. So, or he. So try to avoid that behavior. If you were raised in an environment that was like jealous and petty, I know that that can be really difficult. It's something that you actually have to train out of yourself. So really don't focus on, this is really the big message that I actually am getting for those of you who are drawn to card number 3, is to stop focusing on what other people are doing, how other people are appearing or looking. You don't even know what's really going on with them. And some of you, this might be resonating with you, are actually like making these conclusions that are affecting your life based on what other people are either telling you that they think you should do. Tell people that they can't should on you. Don't let people should on you. The word should can be very damaging sometimes if you really sell into it. When people tell me that I should do something, I kind of like turn one ear off. So just if somebody's telling you, you should do this, you should do this, listen to your inner voice. And I'm getting that you are being called to not compare yourself or your successes to other people. This is currently slowing you down. So if you can make that change, the sooner the better. You'll be back on your own track to becoming your most authentic version, which is the best case scenario for everybody. And that's what I have for card number 3. And for all of these cards for you guys, happy Tarot Tuesday. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I hope it's the best week ever for you guys. And I do love you so very much. Be kind to one another, and please just think about the gratitude this week. Enjoy all of the little things. And I'll see you on Friday.